Yeah, it is challenging when you don't know when you're going to be playing, keeping an eye on obviously the senior team, the county team, and what was happening with them. But as soon as we knew they were out, well then obviously it was back training and back preparing for championship. But yeah, there's always challenges, especially around this time of the year. With leaving certs, we had 4 lads involved with that. We have 2 lads heading off to America now, playing a bit of hurling over there for a couple of weeks. And I suppose with a rural club, you're faced with the challenges of silage and farming and all that this time of year. So just trying to manage all that to make sure that we get the preparation right. That's challenging, but sure, that's why we're in the job.
Absolutely, yeah. I suppose it's unfortunate the hurlers have exited the championship, and I suppose this day it was kind of a provisional fixture, and I suppose until you get that kind of official, I suppose, notification, it's hard to kind of, plan and get fellas, I suppose, in that championship mode.
Oh, it certainly is. And even with lads trying to plan holidays or even breaks away, weekend breaks away, concerts, stuff like that that are coming up, we couldn't give them a definitive until we knew the Waterford Rother Championship, and then we got the fixture then. So it's difficult keeping them motivated, I suppose. We played a couple of challenge games, but then we were saying we're so far out, maybe we'll ease back on it a bit and then ramp it up as we got closer to the championship date.
Absolutely, yeah. I suppose both teams, will be looking at this game as a chance to get their first win. You put up a big score, obviously eventually lost out to Ballygunner in round 1, and Tallow were coming off the back of a 1-point defeat against Dungarvan. But I suppose those games were so long ago now, I suppose it's hard to judge, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very difficult to judge that and who has progressed in what way since then. I suppose just looking at it, we're up fresh from intermediate last year, so the challenge is to stay senior. Obviously we'd like to progress as far as we can in the championship. Looking at Tallow, it's only short 4 years since they were in the county final, and if I remember correctly, I think it was 16 points to 12 or something. It was a 4-point defeat to Ballygunner, which shows that they definitely have the hurling, so big challenge for us. But yeah, we'll be looking to win every game, so like we would have seen the fixtures or the group and seen Ballygunner as a massive challenge, and then the other 2 teams in the group, Tallow and Dungarvan, we'll be saying yes, we'll try to win them, but at least put up a performance.
Absolutely, yeah. Ballygunner, I suppose, they've really set the standard over the last couple of years, but I suppose it must have been great for you guys, while it was a tough opening fixture, I suppose, to get to challenge yourself against a team like Ballygunner. It must have been a good experience, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, great experience for the lads. Like, we went in with no fear, we went in to play the way we wanted to play. We set out our stall the way we wanted to play, and we said, right, we're playing against the best team, possibly second best team in the country, if not the best. So yeah, what a challenge to start off with. But yeah, where you are then after that game, and I suppose to hit 18 points was pretty good for us. But Ballygunner being Ballygunner, they put up a big score themselves, 226, a big score. So yeah, we'll take a lot of positives from that, but a lot of stuff to work on as well as we go forward in the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a while since those open round games, and I suppose Saturday night, I suppose the first kind of 10 minutes or so, it's just about kind of maybe finding your feet again, isn't it, fellas? Maybe easing back into it, and there probably will be a lot of pressure on both clubs.
Oh yeah, certainly. Both teams lost in the first round, so looking for a win. Like the way the championship is structured, nobody goes out of the championship, but you still need to get a foothold in the championship, set the standards for yourself, and like if it will be about the performance for us. The victory would be great, but it's about the performance, because you can't just turn it on now that we're in championship mode. If you don't get a performance in this game, then you're under pressure in the Dungarvan game. So it's about getting a performance. If we can get a victory, great, but we're under no illusions as the challenge facing us. Like, as I said, Tallow are great hurling team, great hurling tradition there. When you're playing them, it still has all the marks of Ned Power and the stick work that they have, and that, along with the speed and the pace of the likes of Tommy Ryan, Jordan Henley and these lads, that's a big challenge for us. But like I said, if we can get a performance, and then if we could eke out a victory, great. If not, the performance will lead us into the next game and we'll take on the championship from there.
Absolutely, yeah. Have you been impressed with the attitude and application since you came into Clonea? Obviously a great win in the intermediate last year, and again another proud hurling club who love their hurling down there, Jonathan.
Oh, certainly do. They certainly do. They've really applied themselves. They knew the challenge of senior hurling, that it's totally different to intermediate hurling, and while they were happy and delighted with a win and getting back up senior, their mentality from the off was, let's become a senior club rather than a senior team. So let's stay in senior for a couple of years and see where that takes us. So I was very impressed with that attitude from the start. Straight after the intermediate championship last year, this was before I was involved, they decided to get together. I think it was 2 weeks after winning the intermediate championship and going out of the Munster, and they set up a programme for themselves for the gym for the winter, so a winter programme, because they knew the challenge facing them to stay up senior. So their attitude has been spot on.
Absolutely, and I suppose to be great if he could get points on the board now Saturday evening. Have he full bill of health or missing many now Saturday?
We don't have a full bill of health, unfortunately. We have Kieran Power coming back from injury. He's just finished he's finishing his leaving cert on Friday, and he's got that challenge then to come straight in on Saturday night and play. And that's the same for a lot of teams. Conor Dalton, who played wing back for us against Ballygunner, is out with an ankle injury. And we have two lads, like I said, gone off to the States, two inter-county footballers. It's going to be difficult without the lads. But that's why we have a panel. That's why we train. That's why we have the numbers at training to push on. And when these lads head off, well, you replace them with someone else, and hopefully that they can take up the mantle and stamp their authority on the team, and maybe nail down a position for themselves. Force the lads when they come back from injury and from America, to force them to try and win their place back.
I suppose, and that's a good aspect to have. I suppose senior hurling, I suppose that competitive edge at training and people pushing for places, that's what I suppose you want as a management team.
Oh, certainly, yeah. If you don't have a competitive edge at training, well then lads become comfortable. They realise that their place is nailed on in the team. It's from the off in Clonea, no one was certain of their place. So that's been great to have that competitive edge, lads pushing each other. And the preparation for this game has been good. Another thing that I saw the other night, we trained on Tuesday night, and you had a lot of the lads, the older members of the club, down just watching the training, which was great to see. It was great for the lads involved in the training session, the players, to look over and see so many of the local community down just to observe. I suppose the fine weather, lads probably finishing up on the farm, coming down for a look what's going on here. So hopefully now the whole community will get behind them and push them forward another little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose finally then, hoping to, I suppose bring a big crowd up to Fairfield from Clonea on Saturday night. They've obviously played a couple of games there. You're probably used to the surroundings there. A lot of those young fellas have played underage county finals there, and a good double header, and should lead to good atmosphere on Saturday night.
Yeah, it should be a great atmosphere. Like you said earlier on there, Tallow looking for their first points, Clonea looking for their first points. Both will bring a crowd with them, create an atmosphere there. The players, they'll be used to the pitch. There's no problem there. But it'd be great to have a good atmosphere over there Saturday evening. Great games on Saturday evening. You might even get a local interest from Dungarvan area coming over to see the games as well. So yeah, it'll be great. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And finally then, you played Ballygunner in round one. Jonathan, do you think they are still the team to beat in this year's championship?
Certainly they are. I mean, coming off their All-Ireland series, you'd be saying maybe they may take the foot off the gas, but like to hit 226 in the first round of the championship, that's a big score, and I think certainly they're the team to catch. They've set the standards, and it's up to every other team then to try and reach those standards and push them. Obviously Clonea would love to push up there and get close to them. We have a lot of work to do to bridge that gap, but in the meantime, if we can hold our senior status and become that senior club, well then maybe in a few years they may get up to those standards. But yeah, there's another couple of teams though, like De La Salle will always be pushing hard there. Mount Sinai will be pushing hard. Lismore will be pushing hard. Of course you have Dungarvan. They were in a county final only 2 years prior to Tallow being in one. So yeah, the teams are there. Passage, of course, their neighbours, always pushing them, that rivalry there. But definitely they are the standard, and it's up to each team then to get up to that standard.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to pick up big time in the next couple of weeks. Jonathan Moore, Clonea manager, appreciate you dropping in, and the best of luck now against Tallow on Saturday night.
Thanks, Gavin.